Ever wondered why your plants keep dying? Even though you water them, give them sunlight, and follow every tip you see online? Well, chances are you're making one of these 7 common gardening mistakes. And trust me, number 3 is the one almost every beginner does without realizing it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the top 7 gardening mistakes beginners always make, how to avoid them, and what to do instead, so you can finally grow healthy, thriving plants without frustration. Let's start with mistake number 1, overwatering. Most beginners think more water equals healthier plants. But in reality, overwatering suffocates roots and causes rot. Instead, learn the finger test. Stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, then water. If not, leave it alone. Different plants have varying water needs, so giving the same amount or too much water indiscriminately can harm them. Overwatering can cause roots to rot and leaves to yellow, symptoms that beginners might not immediately recognize. Excessive watering can lead to root rot, a condition where roots become damaged or suffocated due to too much moisture in the soil. This weakens plants and can ultimately kill them. Overwatering creates a soil environment that lacks proper oxygenation for roots, affecting the plant's ability to absorb nutrients and thrive. Beginners tend to water in quick, shallow sprays, which only wet the surface of the soil and encourage roots to stay near the surface. This makes plants more vulnerable to heat and drought. Instead, watering deeply but less frequently promotes strong, deep root growth. Some beginners apply the same watering routine to all plants, ignoring that different species have unique water requirements based on their size, type, and life cycle. Overwatering can cause problems like blossom end rot and splitting in vegetables, affecting both yield and quality. Ignoring soil moisture levels can result in watering too soon after rain or watering when the soil is still wet, further exacerbating the risk of root problems. Consistent, appropriate watering based on the plant's needs and available soil moisture is key to healthy gardening. In short, beginners often overwater because they assume more water is better or do not understand the specific moisture needs of their plants. Learning to identify signs of overwatering, such as yellow leaves and mushy stems, and adjusting watering schedules by testing soil moisture can greatly improve garden success. Using tools like moisture meters or scheduling irrigation systems thoughtfully also helps avoid this mistake. The key takeaway: overwatering suffocates roots, leads to root rot, and stresses plants, which is why it ranks among the most common and harmful mistakes for new gardeners to avoid. Adjusting watering habits to deliver the right amount of water for each plant and soil condition fosters healthier, more resilient gardens. Number 2, planting too close together. I know it's tempting to squeeze in as many seedlings as possible, but plants need space to grow strong roots and leaves. Crowded plants compete for sunlight, water, and nutrients, leading to weaker harvests. Trust me, fewer plants with more space will give you bigger, healthier crops. Crowded plants restrict air circulation, creating a humid environment ideal for fungal diseases such as powdery mildew on squash and blight on tomatoes. This can quickly damage or destroy crops. Larger plants overshadow smaller ones, cutting off necessary sunlight. The shaded plants struggle to grow and thrive beneath the canopy of larger neighbors. Overcrowding makes it harder to water, fertilize, prune, and manage weeds, which can further reduce plant health. Plants lose their individual space and a well-structured garden look, which can stress both the plants and the gardener. Many beginners initially think more plants and less space will mean a bigger harvest, but the opposite is often true. Proper spacing according to seed packet instructions or plant tags is crucial. This spacing allows each plant to reach its mature size without competition, leading to healthier plants and better yields. To avoid this mistake, gardeners should pay attention to spacing recommendations provided on seed packets or online. Visualize the mature size of plants, not just seedlings. Thin seedlings when direct sowing to reduce overcrowding. Use methods like square-foot gardening to ensure sufficient space for each plant. Overall, giving plants enough room to grow ensures they get adequate sunlight, nutrients, and air circulation, leading to a more productive and healthy garden. Beginners should resist the temptation to cram plants too close to try to maximize space, as it usually backfires in terms of plant health and yield. This is one of the most common mistakes beginners make in gardening and is important to avoid for long-term success. Mistake number 3, and this one ruins gardens more than anything else, is ignoring soil quality. You could buy the best seeds and water them perfectly, but if your soil is poor, your plants won't stand a chance. I'll show you the easiest way to fix your soil in just a second, but first, mistake number 4, planting the wrong vegetables at the wrong time. Each plant has its season. Some thrive in cool weather, others need heat. Check your local planting calendar before you sow seeds, or you might be setting yourself up for failure from the start. Using generic planting charts based only on gardening zones can be misleading because zones indicate average minimum temperatures but don't specify last frost dates or exact growing conditions. This leads to incorrect timing. Starting seeds indoors or transplanting plants too early in the season can create leggy or weak plants, as they may outgrow their pots or lack adequate light before outdoor conditions are favorable. Early planting often causes seedlings to languish or become leggy on windowsills. Late planting shortens the growing season, preventing plants from reaching full potential or producing a harvest. To avoid this mistake, beginners are advised to use planting calendars or tools tailored to their specific zip code or local frost dates rather than relying solely on zone-based charts. Follow the natural seasonal cycles for each crop to ensure optimal growth, flavor, and yield. Understand the differences between cool season and warm season crops and plant accordingly. Buy or start plants at the right time. For example, tomato plants are best purchased or transplanted in spring rather than winter, depending on your zone. In summary, planting in the wrong season leads to struggling plants and disappointment. Learning the right timing for your specific location and crops maximizes garden success and rewards gardeners with bountiful harvests. Number 5, forgetting how much sunlight plants actually need. Some herbs like mint survive in partial shade, but vegetables like tomatoes and peppers demand at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sun. Not enough sunlight. Expect small harvests or no harvest at all. Plants have different sunlight requirements depending on their type. For example, warm weather crops like tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and potatoes generally need full sun, which means about 8 hours of direct sunlight a day. Cool weather crops, such as lettuces and greens, usually require at least 5 to 6 hours of sunlight. Insufficient sunlight causes poor plant development, including slow growth, weak stems, and reduced flowering or fruiting. Choosing the right location for your garden based on the sunlight availability is crucial. If you place sun-loving plants in shady areas, they will struggle to thrive. Conversely, shade plants placed in direct sun might get scorched or dry out quickly, so the light needs of each plant should be matched to its location. An effective tip is to observe your garden area at different times of the day and throughout the seasons to understand the sunlight patterns. This helps you position your plants where they will receive the light they need. In summary, always check and match the sunlight requirements of your plants when choosing their location to avoid this common beginner mistake. This ensures healthier, more vigorous plants and better yields in your garden. Mistake 6. Ignoring pests until it's too late. One day your plant looks fine, the next day the leaves are full of holes. Instead of waiting for infestations, use natural preventatives like neem oil, companion planting, or even just checking your plants daily. Pests can cause significant damage. Garden pests like aphids, caterpillars, whiteflies, and others can quickly spread and weaken plants. If pest control is neglected, infestations can escalate rapidly, causing holes in leaves, stunted growth, and reduced harvests. Beginners often delay addressing pests. Many new gardeners overlook small signs of pest presence or wait until the problem becomes severe before taking action. This delay allows the pest population to grow out of control, making management much more difficult and increasing the likelihood of plant loss. Lack of proactive pest and disease management. Waiting until pests are visible often means the infestation is already advanced. Instead, good garden hygiene, regular monitoring, and early intervention are key. This includes removing debris and weeds that harbor pests and using organic or natural methods like beneficial insects, hand-picking pests, or applying neem oil or insecticidal soap when necessary. Threat to beneficial insects. Beginners sometimes panic and overuse pesticides, not realizing that these can kill beneficial insects such as ladybugs and lacewings that naturally help control pests. A balanced, organic approach with pest prevention rather than reactive spraying is more sustainable. Failing to plan for pests. Pests are a natural part of gardening, and being unprepared leads to frustration and potential crop loss. Planning ahead includes crop rotation, timely planting, and creating barriers like floating row covers to deter pests. Emotional impact. Pest infestations that become unmanageable can demoralize beginners, making them want to give up gardening altogether. In summary, neglecting pest control often results from a combination of overlooking early warning signs, reacting late, and lacking knowledge of natural pest management strategies. Educating beginners on the importance of regular plant inspection, garden cleanliness, and gentle intervention can help avoid this common mistake, leading to healthier plants and a more rewarding gardening experience. Thus, the key takeaway for beginners is to adopt proactive, organic pest management practices and view pests as manageable parts of the garden ecosystem rather than overwhelming threats. Early attention to pests and diseases prevents big problems later, keeping gardens thriving and enjoyable. And finally, number 7, expecting instant results. Gardening takes patience. Most plants need weeks or even months before you see a real harvest. But there is a way to get faster growth, and I'll share my top 3 hacks for speeding up plant growth in my next video. Oh, and remember mistake number 3 about soil quality? Here's the fix: compost. Even a small pile of kitchen scraps turned into compost will enrich your soil, improve drainage, and give your plants the nutrients they crave. Healthy soil equals healthy plants. It's that simple. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more simple, practical gardening tips every week. And let me know in the comments, which of these mistakes have you been guilty of? Don't worry, I've made them too.